Here are some stretches and exercises you can do to relieve the pain and stiffness in your wrists, in your hands, and your fingers, and all those joints. So first up, we're going to start with 2 stretches. One, we're going to start with something called the seal walk. So you might want a bench or maybe a chair. You can even put a cushion on that chair if you like. But you're going to start with your hands and fingers very spread out and placing them down flat on the bench. And I want my shoulders to be relatively over my wrists. That's going to be a little bit less tension. From there, I'm going to pick up one hand, turn my fingers out to about 45 degrees, and set down pinky and roll to thumb. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other hand. Pick it up, turn it out, about 45 degrees out, and set it down pinky to thumb. And I'm going to keep repeating that as I continue to turn the fingers as far around as I can. Now, I'm pretty flexible with this, so I can get all the way to 180 degrees. Do not panic if you can't get all the way around to 180 degrees with your palm completely flat. That's all right. Just go as far around as you can, even if it's right here. You know, just wherever you feel the tension but no pain, that's where you want to stop. If you feel any pain with any of these stretches or exercises, do not continue through the pain. Just go ahead and slowly come out, and we can reevaluate. So from here, still walking ourselves around, nice and easy. As far as you can go. Once you get to that point, as far as you can go with the palms completely flat, the fingers wide. I want to watch my shoulders too, that they're not shrugging up. So relax the shoulders down away from the ears. This might be enough stretch here. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds. This might be pretty intense, so breathe through this. Make sure you have some long exhales going. You can even, if you need more stretch rather, you can even walk the feet back a little bit more. Still keeping the palm of the hand flat on the bench. Shoulders still away from the ears, and breathe. So we have about 10 more seconds in this position if you've been following along. Now coming out of a stretch is just as important as going into a stretch. Come out very slowly. So if you backed up a little bit, go ahead and walk forward again, and we're going to go back out the way we came. We're going to pick up our hand and pick up our hand, slowly turn out till our fingers are completely forward. And you can slowly pick up the hands, do a couple wrist circles just to counter that a little bit. Our next one is stretching the front of our forearm here. And so to do that, I'm gonna, again, have my fingers out wide. I'm gonna flip the palm over so my fingers are facing towards me, the palm up to the ceiling. I'm gonna set it down that way. That might be pretty intense for some, but that's all right. Just do what you can. Fingers wide, back of the wrist is on the bench. I'm going to spread out the other fingers wide and then press palm to palm. So it's anchoring it there in that position. Again, watch the shoulders away from the ears. The final piece of the puzzle is this elbow bend, this little elbow pit here. I'm going to rotate it forward without the fingers rotating. So that's why we're pinning it down, because the tendency is that the fingers want to rotate forward. I'm going to rotate this elbow pit forward until you feel a gentle stretch. Again, this could be very intense, so go into it very slowly. Shoulders away from the ears, and breathe. Make sure you have those long exhales. Holding for 30, and again, if you need more stretch, you can do that. A little back walk as well, keeping the back of the wrist still and the back of the hand completely on the bench, watching that it doesn't peel off. Other hand is really pinning it down. About 10 more seconds. Still breathing. And just like the other stretch, when we come out of this, we're gonna go nice and easy. So walk forward, if you haven't already. Take the hand off. You can slowly peel that hand off the bench. Do a couple wrist circles. It almost feels like a new hand whenever I do it. And we'll go to the other side. So again, wide fingers pointing towards you. Other hand, palm to palm, really pinning it down. Shoulders away from the ears. Final piece of the puzzle, rolling that elbow pit forward until you feel a little bit of tension, and then we're staying here for 30 and breathing. Again, an option to walk backward if you need more stretch. If you don't need more stretch, you can just stay where you are. You can think about something else. You can sing a song in your head if it takes your mind off of the intensity of the pain. But we're almost done. We have about 5 more seconds left. And from here, we're going to walk back forward if you haven't already. Take the hand off, slowly peeling that hand off the bench, doing a couple more wrist circles, and that part is done. You may be saying, thank God. So this next part, I'm sitting on the bench. I turned the bench here. You can do this sitting at your desk and just have your hand on the edge of the desk. You can do this on the edge of a chair, just wherever your elbow is gently resting. Your shoulder doesn't have to do any work. You feel fairly comfortable here. You're not cramped at all. And so we're gonna do a couple different exercises for the hand itself. So there are a bajillion muscles in the hand. So we wanna strengthen those too. So not just stretch, but strengthen them. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna touch our thumb to each finger, but keeping the fingers as straight as possible. And then I'm gonna, got a little bend there, move to each one, excuse me. And then I'm gonna go back the way I came. And we're gonna do this for 3 sets. There we go. Takes a lot of concentration sometimes. So this is ending round 2, or set 2. Still keeping those fingers as straight as you can. I messed up there a little bit. Here we go, final set. Really squeezing there once you get the fingertips together. Oh, and good. So round 1, or first exercise is done. Your next one is a little bit trickier. So I'm gonna take my palm, I'm just gonna take my thumb straight up, kind of take it out of the equation. My palm itself stays straight. But I'm gonna bend here at the base of these knuckles. I'm gonna bend the fingers, but keeping the fingers straight. And then bring it back. And again, reaching forward, or bending at the knuckles and coming back. So we're gonna see if we can do 10 to 15 of these. I'm gonna do 10 reps for this video. So this is 4. Hopefully I don't lose count. Counting is the easiest part of my job. It's the one I mess up the most. I think that was 6. That's probably why I keep messing up my counting, because I keep talking. I'll call that 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, so next one, we are going to take this first knuckle and second knuckle and keep them straight. It's a little bit trickier, but then we're gonna curl these last 2 knuckles as much as I can. So we have some straightness here. So we're not making a complete fist, but we're keeping a little bit of straightness there in that palm. We're gonna do that 10 times. So curling and squeeze, really stretch out the fingers again. Curl, squeeze, and reach. That's 3, 4, thumb is up. Take it out of the equation, 5, 6, 7, 8. You might find that your other hand likes to try to help you. 10. Woo, good deal. You kind of wiggle out the fingers. Good. All right, and then our last one, nope, second to last one, I'm sorry. We're gonna go through this very top joint, the one that is often neglected. We don't think about it very much, but it's very important. So I'm gonna go one by one. So I wanna hold this knuckle here. I'm gonna prevent that knuckle from bending. And so I'm gonna hold that middle knuckle there, and I'm gonna do 5 reps of just this top knuckle. This might be a little challenging. So you can do 5 here, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll go to the next one. Whoop, that one likes to bend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, use the ring finger, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then finally the pinky. Ooh, that one likes to bend too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, just do your best. We're gonna start over, 1 more set for each one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1. To the next one, middle finger, 2, 3, 4, 5, to the next one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The middle finger likes to help out a lot with that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so this hand is done for now. I'm going to switch the other side of my bench here. So I can do the left hand. So again, starting from the top, we have the elbow resting, shoulder relaxed, just where you're comfortable. Spreading out the fingers, touching each, starting with the forefinger, each fingertip to each other, keeping the fingers as straight as you can. Doing 3 sets of these. And then going back the way you came. Ooh, set number 2. I like to give a little squeeze there when the fingertips are together, making sure that those muscles in my hands are firing. On to our 3rd set. Excuse me. Last one here. And good. Then still resting here. This is the one where we're working that base of the knuckles, where the rest of the fingers are straight or as straight as you can. Thumb is up. We're doing 10 of these. 2, 3. Apparently my other hand likes to help with this one. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Also, one hand might be better than the other. That's completely normal, especially if it's your dominant hand. Sometimes your dominant hand is better, sometimes your dominant hand is worse. But just so you know, that's normal. Just keep working at it. Just honor where you are. That's A-okay. So our next one, keeping the base knuckle and the second knuckle straight in the same. Thumb is still up, but I'm going to curl those other 2 knuckles together. And 1, 2. I don't know why, but this reminds me of monkey hands when it's curled up. 3, 4. Getting a good squeeze there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Now we'll go through each individual knuckle. Again, holding those other 2 knuckles, we're looking at this very top one. So again, stabilizing them as best as I can, starting with my index finger, and bending 1, doing the best you can, 2, 3, 4, 5. Moving on to the next one, the middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do the ring finger. 1, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5, and to the pinky. 1, 2. Ooh, that one likes to bend. 3, 4, 5, and then 1 more set per finger. Back to the index finger. 1, 2, 3. Getting a good squeeze. 4, 5. Middle finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the ring finger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the pinky one last time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, now we have one more exercise with both hands. We can do this at the same time. So all we're gonna do is very simple. You're gonna start with your fingers as close together as possible, really squeezing them in. And then we're going to lift them almost like the base of your palm is lifting up towards the ceiling as high as you can and spreading out the fingers as much as you can. And then we'll bring the fingers back together. We're doing this 10 times. So that's 1, really reach as far as you can. 2, reach. 3, I'm just using my knee for my right hand to support. 4, 5, getting that lift of the wrist up to the ceiling a little bit. 6, 3, 7, 8, 9. Last one, get as much space as you can. Woo. And 10. All right, so there are your exercises. I hope these really help you out.